on the main stage, but we are now going to usher in the good folks from Kansas City.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Hernandez. I am with the City Manager's Office. In Kansas City, we believe that an all-America city is a city that serves all of its residents. We want every single resident to be active and engaged in our civic life. But to get that participation, we know that our residents must know that they are valued by their city leadership. They must be able to access all of our city services, no matter which neighborhood they live in, no matter their socioeconomic status. We must deliver equity in city services the same way that we pick up the trash, the curb, patch the potholes, and deliver water to homes. Equity for our residents drives all three of the projects that we will present to you today. And we want to show you why Kansas City is an all-America city. So let's start by taking a look at Kansas City.
Kansas City is a city of champions, celebrating both World Series and Super Bowl victories. We're the city of fountains in the heart of the nation. The pride our residents have in our city is reflected in our civic engagement. We invite residents to speak out, to impact public policy through our Speak Easy sessions, like this one, to help plan the budget. Engagement and equity are part of all three projects we present to the All-America City Committee. Our KC Spirit Playbook outreach gathers feedback both online and in person, with community events rolling out as the pandemic ends. So far, there are more than 25,000 visits to the KC Spirit Playbook website, where we're gathering feedback to help create our comprehensive plan. Grassroots efforts by our residents helped create the KC Streetcar, and we shared every step of the journey with residents, from laying the first rail to installing the first platform. And we purposely created a system with 0 fares. That's right, it's free to ride for everyone, every time. That's equity. Parks should be the same quality in every neighborhood, right? LifeX brings a new focus on maintaining and improving parks across the city so that everyone can benefit from improved health and a longer lifespan. These three projects are just a part of why Kansas City is an all-America city.
Now, Kansas City is an all-America city because of our innovation and our resilience. We think big, we think smart, and most of all, we think about our residents and what's best for them. Community engagement has been incredibly important for each of our three projects. We have been talking to our residents, listening to their ideas and their issues, and then using that feedback as we make decisions. Our Director of City Planning and Development, Jeff Williams, is here to present the KC Spirit Playbook, Kansas City's Next Gen Comprehensive Plan. Jeff.
Chris, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The KC Spirit Playbook will be Kansas City's next comprehensive plan. It will set priorities and guide our land use development decisions for years to come. That's why we're engaging our residents all across the city to make sure their feedback is part of the creation of this new comprehensive plan. We need our community engagement to be more inclusive than ever. That commitment is reflected in our branding that you saw through the video. We're calling it the Playbook because, as you saw in the video, we have sports-loving residents here, and we are using the theme of having them help us call the plays here as we build and grow. For the look, we've updated the iconic Norman Rockwell image you're seeing there. It still shows that famous roll up your sleeves Kansas City work ethic, but now has a more inclusive and diverse imagery to represent all of our residents. Our community engagement scheduled to start just as a pandemic hit last year. So we quickly pivoted to a high level of virtual engagement. Now we are starting to plan more in-person events in communities all across the city. We partner with community groups and outside agencies. Our Playbook website can be translated into dozens of languages, and we've hired an outreach team to cross the digital divide and ensure we're reaching those who cannot connect online. Equity is at the forefront of the creation of the KC Spirit Playbook in a way never really seen before in Kansas City. We strive to make the Playbook the manifestation of greater individual empowerment rather than systemic power. To present our second project, let me introduce Jason Waldron of KC Streetcar. Jason.
Good afternoon. I was trying working with my video here. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, guys, the KC Streetcar delivers equity every day on every ride because it's free to ride and offers 100% level boarding. Fare free makes it easy to hop on and off, whether using it to commute to work, to school, to dinner, or just to explore downtown. And level boarding provides access to all of our riders. It really has connected our communities and our neighborhoods. No fare means more money back in the pockets of our residents and businesses. We are now expanding the streetcar system again with no fares so that even more residents can choose how they travel around Kansas City and not be solely reliant on a car. This system is more than just transportation. It has sparked nearly $3 billion in economic development, and another wave of private investment is already underway as the rails expand both north and south of our original line. Our development map is dotted with new hotels, condos, businesses, and office buildings that have been going up within the streetcar district, as well as renovations and conversions of older businesses. When it comes to public engagement, this project purely stands tall and has been such a success because of the grassroots work by our residents who wanted more transportation options. A little history is, we've tried to do light rail and streetcar before, and we're not successful, but these residents took it upon themselves to go door to door to talk to voters, their neighbors, about the project, which then passed a series of 3 elections to approve the project, the taxes to fund it, and the creation of the Transportation Development District. The free fares also led to another big transportation change in Kansas City, the Free Bus Ride Initiative. With leadership from our mayor, our bus system has also eliminated fares, improving equality for public transportation in all neighborhoods across the city. Now let me introduce you to Roosevelt Lions from KC Parks.
Thank you, Jason. Roosevelt Lions. Kansas City has a nationally known park system. It also has a nationally accredited health department. We recently partnered to increase the life expectancy of our residents. We created the LifeX program after a health study revealed a shocking disparity. There is a 17-year difference in life expectancy in neighborhoods that are just 10 minutes apart, but on opposite sides of a historic racial dividing line. The life expectancy for an African-American male who lives in East Kansas City zip codes is 68 years. A white woman living on the west side of that line has a life expectancy of 85 years. Again, that's 17-year difference because of the long history of racial disparities in healthcare, wealth generation, educational opportunities, and racism in our country. LifeX is focused on the 6 zip codes with the lowest life expectancy. Here is one example of how KC Parks is making a difference. We have always had 3 maintenance districts, a North District, a Central District, and a South District, because geography, right? Now we have a 4th maintenance district, and that is called the Quality of Life Investment District. This district encompasses the 6 zip codes with the lowest life expectancy and focuses on improving the 38 park facilities within those 6 zip codes. Many of these parks have been neglected for many years. I should also note that we are doing this without additional funding. This is simple prioritizing these neighborhoods that are in need the most and reallocating our current funding. While our health department and parks department lead the project, other departments are collaborating to ensure that their programs help increase life expectancy as well. This is a strong commitment to a real change in real ways that will improve the health and quality of life for our residents. We will measure the outcomes with hard data over the years to hold ourselves accountable. This is how we are working towards equity in our parks and equity in the life expectancy of our residents. And now I'll return it back over to Chris Hernandez.
Thank you very much, Roosevelt. Now, as I was saying earlier, we all believe that Kansas City is an all-America city, and it's because, our people and our efforts to engage with them in all parts of our policy work. Having recently won the World Series and the Super Bowl, Pride in our city is at an all-time high. We love our sports team. The world loves our jazz and barbecue. We are the city of fountains and the heart of the nation, and we believe we are an all-America city. Thank you so much for letting us present today, and we stand ready for your questions.
All right. Thank you, Kansas City. Let's see now what plays our jury is going to call. Let's start first with Margaret.
Thank you for the presentation. I love the branding of the playbook and the tie-in with all your great sports teams, almost as good as the Bay Area in California. But I wanted to ask about your streetcar program. I serve on our local transportation authority here in the region, and the challenges, as you know, with COVID has been the drop in ridership. And I was wondering, as we reopen, what are some of the strategies that you have been implementing to try to get folks back into transit, or have you experienced the drop in ridership as we have here in our areas?
Sure, Jason, if you want to take that, and then Peter, you can chime in from a resident point of view.
Yeah, great. No, that's certainly, we saw the effects of COVID in the last year, like a lot of other transit agencies. I will, give a shout out to our bus group. They right from the start went to free fare to make sure that everyone had access to transit, and of course, car was already free fare. And so we did see those drop-offs, and we wanted to be very respectful. We followed all the guidelines, but we're really seeing a rebound right now. We were seeing crush loads over the weekends. Of course, we're still following all the same policies, but we're finding people's appetite to want to return to some of the amenities in our downtown, and we're seeing that with the ridership numbers going up.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Peter Carnicelli. I've lived along our streetcar line since the construction phase, and I've really loved seeing the investment and development in the area. And I was actually part of that grassroots effort that Jason mentioned to expand the streetcar. And yeah, I've definitely seen the ridership drop during the pandemic as people are staying home and staying safe, and the hours were cut. But the hours are in the process of being restored now, and I'm really seeing a whole lot of people riding it right now, which is very encouraging for the future of our city. I love how our streetcar is free to ride, because that eliminates a barrier and makes people so much more likely to ride it if they can just hop on. And so I find that I really see a wide variety of people on board.
And real quick, Michael Golick, Streetcar Program Coordinator. You touched on events. What are we doing to get ridership numbers up? Well, we recently just had an event that we coordinated with called Truce-to-Palooza. So as Roosevelt had brought up, truce is the racial dividing line within our city. And this previous weekend, we actually had a concert to celebrate Truce-to-Palooza, to encourage residents to ride the streetcar, as well as encourage that neighborhood equality and equity that we want to see within our city. So we're doing events like that.
Excellent, thank you. Let's get Dante, then Terry, then Cece.
Great job, Kansas City. And as a frequent visitor, I can attest to the greatness and the quality of the barbecue in Kansas City. As I read through your application, the data around life expectancy was staggering to me. Being very familiar with the east and west sides of Truce, having that data presented to me was staggering. And Michael just touched on Truce-to-Palooza. My question is, strategies related to continuing to engage communities east and west of Truce in problem solving and being a part of the solution. Can you speak to that a little bit?
This is Jeff Williams. I'll kick that off a little bit. Michael talked about Truce-to-Palooza, an event bringing together neighborhoods on either side of that historic racial dividing line. And we as a city, really through neighborhood input, have brought communities together on either side of that line. The corridor become degraded over years, uses and activities that neighborhoods on either side of that line, regardless of demographic, were not pleased about. So they, as communities themselves, came together. They sought money through our municipal planning organization to begin to do planning studies and work collectively across the line to improve the character and quality and the land uses, not only along the corridor, but within their own neighborhoods. This is a corridor that went 10 years ago from not having any commercial activity there, other things happening, to be a corridor through neighborhood crafting and participation of smaller scale infill commercial development, neighborhood infill housing, and much needed multifamily housing developments along that corridor. It would have been impossible to think 5 years ago if you mentioned an intersection at Troost, and we have one now, Troost and Armour Boulevard, which was a historic apartment boulevard, to now know that we're anticipating about 1,000 new units happening at that intersection is just something would not have been contemplated and would have only happened because we were positioned to listen to neighborhoods. We were positioned to use them as experts and to help work with identifying tools and strategies to bring unanimity and greater security and quality of life to neighborhoods on both sides of the line collectively. So I think that's the spirit, and that's what gets you to places like Troostapalooza and building more and more social and public infrastructure for the health and long-term high quality of those neighborhoods.
And we have Catherine, one of our residents, on the line as well. I believe that she could add to this part of the conversation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am president of the Heart of the City Neighborhood Association, which is located at the Dunbar neighborhood, which is a 100-plus-year-old community that is traditionally African American. And we have been working really closely with KC Parks and trying to partner with neighborhoods across the Troost line. As a matter of fact, our sister neighborhood is almost to the state line. And so we've been looking for events that we could do together, as well as just exchanging ideas about how we could really improve the quality of life in our neighborhood, because we are in one of those LifeX districts that Roosevelt had spoken about earlier. And we're trying to make sure we engage our residents and get people outside so that we can become healthier and enjoy our parks. And with the assistance of KC Parks and other departments, we are hosting the International Make Music Day for the second time. We did it last year in the midst of COVID, doing some sustainability initiatives for the community, and just looking to make sure that we can take the advantage of the pivot and the attention that's being given to the traditionally disadvantaged communities. And just looking forward to ways that we can engage people young and old, because we know that our future lies with our young people. And so even with our the Playbook, we're trying to get the young people involved and learning how to engage and be civic minded. And so we really are excited about all the things that we can do through the quality of life improvement district and the programs that Roosevelt and the other leaders in the Parks Department are doing. So we know Kansas City is an all-American city. We just need to be able to shine. So our residents from our community even have had an impact worldwide. So we just are excited, and we just hope that we get selected so that we can show you what we can really do.
Thank you, Catherine.
Kansas City, thank you so much for continuing to shine and for making sure that your residents and the city and other partners are able to really come together to call the right plays to make an equitable community. So thank you so much for being an All-America City finalist, and we'll see you the next time you serve us some barbecue.
Come on down to Kansas City. We got you covered.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the awards ceremony of the 72nd Annual All-America City Awards. Tonight, we designate the 10 All-America City Award winners for 2021.
Before we get to the All-America City Awards, there are a couple of other awards we want to announce first. We have a Youth Leadership Award named after John Parr, who was president of the National Civic League for many years and brought great things to the league during his tenure from 1986 to 1995. This award recognizes extraordinary civic engagement and leadership on the part of a young person in their community. I want to thank Civic Results and the Friends of John Parr who have donated in his honor for this award. The winner of the Youth Leadership Award will receive 2 round-trip tickets on Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the All-America City Awards. The nominees are Maya Bahola from Miramar, Florida, Asia Good from Richmond, Virginia, Maher Grual from Bellevue, Washington, Howard Houston Haynes from Southfield, Michigan, Justice Horn, Kansas City, Missouri, Chance Mead from Wheat Ridge, Colorado, Will Taggart from Livermore, California, and Amir Williams from Fort Wayne, Indiana. We have 2 winners this year. The first winner for Extraordinary Community Leadership is Maya Bahola. The second winner is Justice Horn. And Justice is from Kansas City, Missouri. So congratulations to both of you. Really appreciate your leadership and look forward to great things from you in the future. Back to Mayor Paul.
Congratulations, Maya and Justice. You'll be sent your Southwest Airlines vouchers and award certificates shortly. Now, the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to announce the 2021 All-America Cities. Please.
The next award. This community helps residents get around. This community is applying an equity lens to planning. This community is reducing gaps in life expectancy. The All-America City of Kansas City, Missouri. Congratulations, Kansas City.
Hey, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Hernandez with the City of Kansas City, Missouri, and we are pleased to accept this award on behalf of Mayor Quentin Lucas, the City Manager, Brian Platt, our entire City Council, but most importantly, all of our staff and all of our residents who are really what make us an All-America City. We'll proudly add that title to being the City of Fountains in the heart of the nation. Thank you once again.